Okay, welcome to Advanced Drupal Views, and my name is Shra. Using how many of you have not used views? Okay, zero. That's like the perfect score, I guess. So I'm sure everybody knows what views are. And then how many of you have not used contextual filters or relationships? Just a couple. So just so you know, contextual filters are just like any other filters. It's just that these filters act dynamically. It's not like manually. And that dynamically changes the output of the page. So some of the additional modules that I mentioned that we are going to speak about in this session, and also some of them we're going to showcase using the demo, are better exposed filters. So better exposed filters, as the name itself suggests, what it does is it gives us some additional options while using filters. So whenever a better exposed filter module is enabled on the site, for example, when you have an exposed filter on your site, which is just like a drop-down list, when you use better exposed filters, it will give you some additional options where you can just make that select list use checkboxes or even use radio buttons. It will also give additional options where you ascending and descending orders. It will also give you various other options which we're actually going to show during the demo. And then we're also going to use views bulk operation. Automatically tag them, all the pages that have been tagged with the wrong taxonomy, to tag it with the right tag. To do that as well, we're actually going to show that as well in the demo. Load more is a small module. It acts like a plugin to the view. So in the pager settings for the view, you'll see a new pager type called load more pager. So what this does is, let's say your view has like 50 results and you don't want the user to, you can enable the views load more pager and say, okay, show me only 10 items. And then what it does, it will show a load more button. So when the user clicks the load more button, he or she items in order to see 50 results. Entity reference in the demo. So what entity reference does is you can basically have multiple content types and then you can establish relationships between them. So basically, in our example, I think we can get to it when we're actually going through the demo of the actual views. And then we're also going to use Taxonomy Manager. Taxonomy Manager is a great module. It adds like a GUI interface, the default taxonomy that comes with the Drupal. So what Taxonomy Manager voting API module does is it allows the user to basically vote on any piece of content or rate any piece of content. And the 5-star module is just an add-on for the voting API module. It uses the voting API module to show an where it's a node with stars, you can actually see star icons there saying basically uses voting API. We have right now, what are the candidates that are being used in this demo, what are the taxonomies that are being used inside. So for the sake of this presentation, we took a use case of online bookstore. So for an online book, into various broke it down is we created 3 content types. They're called book, sure. So the author content right now just has like a short description about that particular author, and pages to store the number of pages in the book, the release date, and then the category here is the taxonomy that stores the category of that particular book. And then book has a cover image, and then we are using the 5-star rating module here to create the field rating field, and then that stores basically what are the ratings for that particular book on the taxonomy. So this is the layout that you see when you install the taxonomy manager. You can add new terms right from here. You can delete a parent-child relationship. You can export them, and then you can create multiple trees, and then you can even search for various taxonomy terms too. Jorge here is going to demo you how the views have been set up using all these content types, and also how to get the view that you guys were seeing like a minute ago of the book listing with the rating, with the export filters and all that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Sarawak. We're going to go through different parts of the views. Views or listing displays. So, for example, let's start with the book glossaries. Let me go here. So, book glossary basically is going to be a simple view. The only thing that adds to this view is going to be the way to have a summary, so you can select which letter you want to display. For this one, basically, we attach a contextual filter that is going to be the title, and like you see here, you don't have any filter in the URL, but in the more you have a glossary mode. So these are some kind of things that sometimes you miss, that you can do this one, or you can achieve this one by clicking glossary mode, selecting how many characters you want to take from the word, and what type of transform you are going to have. In this case, you're going to have case to transform uppercase, capitalize, or lowercase. Also, you can pass this with a case path, that we are going to see later how it works, and also you can transform. Some of us has been knocking the door with this one, and we don't achieve it sometimes. We get frustrated, but it's something easy in views that we have. So what we do here is that we pass a parameter. It's going to be one character, the first character. It's going to be basically just a list of the first letter of each book, and we're going to group it by that letter. So what we have here is just a title, cover image, and also we have the content type. As you can see, this filter is going to display a summary. We use a separator, and basically we use the same what we used before. We use a glossary mode. Okay. There it is. The moment that you click, it's going to send the letter, the first letter, and the attachment is going to be generated again, and also the view. So we are using here a glossary mode. We can go now for the book list. The book listing, basically, as you can see, this view is going to be basically, we are editing the same view that is showing in that moment. So here we have content category exposed. The settings are going to be the same. Is nothing special on that one. And we have the content relationship between the code API and the sorting criteria in this case. So this one is really easy to use, and you're going to have better expose filters as a block. And here are the settings of the better expose filter. Why this one is better than to use the simple one or the good thing of expose filters, what I really like is that when you have too many filters, an advanced search basically. So you show the main search, and one user you can have an advanced search. That one gives the user a view that is going to be clean, and to do usability. This one is one of the good feature of better quality. So let's go to the book. The book is going to be linked to another view. So any book is going to be linked to another view. Basically, this one is a view. And I'm going to show you that in the left side, there is related books. Sometimes we scroll through with related content based on contextual filters. And I'm going to show you how easy it can be to add that related content. So in the view, we have a simple that is going to be everything based on the book, but also we have a related. So we have an entity reference here that we add. Um, the way how we structure this one, it can be achieved in different ways using taxonomy. For the purposes of this session, we created the content type separated. So to have a relationship between author that is going to be created in one entity and the book in another entity, I need to pass, if I want to reference in a view, for example, more books that he has write or something like that. If we want to pass that argument as the author itself, we are going to need to have some kind of relationship between the book and also the author. If you see here, for example, let me go back into book listing. The author right now is going to slide show the author. Sorry about that, guys. And I can show the author. Basically, I'm passing the parameter that is going to be dead tuning in this case, and I'm going to show the author. And below this one, as you can see, this one is a view. Below this view, with this view and with this parameter, we can call to more things. This relationship between the book and the author, I needed to achieve it using the path of the author or the title in this case. So when I go to the view, I have this basically just require this relationship. And then I create a path, or you try to get the path from the content. What you're going to get is the content itself. But in this case, I want the other content path. I want the author path. Okay? So here is where my relationship. I basically call the author and I bring that relationship and I attach it to the path. So what is sending me to, when it is basically the path from the author, not from the book. Um, just in case to display everything, but you can use always, you can use templates.php that is located, or what is going to be the name of that view. You can go here in information, and here is going to be all the list of name conventions that you can use for this particular view. You are going to have display output, style output, row style, field contents, and so on and so on. So you can select basically all that is in bold right now is the one that are being used. You can select, for example, for this one, you can select this as a name convention for the template.php. Also, another thing that you can do is, let me go here back into the book, and let me remove this one, and let me save the view. As you can see, adding or removing one CSS class, or adding an ID to a field or something like that, is going to affect the view, how it's rendered. So you have, in this case, you can have a predefined CSS, and you can install it in using those predefined classes, basically. Using this one in the bottom, that is going to be the CSS class from the view. If you are having an attachment, for example, what is going to happen is that always the page view is going to be the parent CSS class, and the attachment is going to be inherit everything from the file. So in an attachment, you can, or you can use the other one too. Let me put this one back. And I think you have a question. Oh. So let's go to related content. Basically, is in this case, it's really easy to do it because we have a taxonomy term already attached to the node. And the only thing that we need to do is to add a contextual filter and look for the options. So try to check what, depending on what you need. Sometimes it's good to see in another where to click, where to check, you know. And this one is right now is at random. It's ascending, and it's the same. Has the same information, book related CSS, and basically that is the only thing that you need to do for a related content. Just to attach to get the taxonomy term ID from content and verify that it. Let me go to um, let me go to or change this. Let's see, for example, this one is development to business. So we execute, we select what category we want. We go on business, confirm, start doing it. Remember, you have to be administrator here because you're not going to be able to run any updates if you are not. So, and the same book is now business. This one gives you the option to change anything in the entity, basically. And this is really useful when you migrate some content that with the wrong taxonomy. Sometimes you migrate with sometimes with XML or something like that. Is what is going to happen is that you put a comma or a space or something like that, and it's going to migrate a taxonomy term that you don't want, an empty one or something like that. So let's go to see this view, how it works. This view basically is just that. It's a table with the title and the category. We have one more thing though. We have bulk operation here, and the configuration of this one is going to be select bulk operations. What we are going to do. As you can see, we have a lot of things. We can delete, we can modify the revisions and everything like that. But in this case, we are going to modify entity values. From here, we are going to select display values, and we are going to select from field the type book, anything from here, okay? But we are going to select category for the purpose of this demo. And you can show available tokens if you are going to do any other advanced programming or displaying or changing. If you want to change the title to another title with a pattern, you can display available tokens that you have, and that is the only configuration that you need to do. You only attach bulk operations to the content, and you are going to be able to modify everything based on that code. Now, load more. The view load more. Okay, so every time that we click, we load more, and that is how it works. This one is a simple module. It's really easy to use. The only thing that you need to modify is that the pager is going to show you, instead of showing you the Drupal default, it's going to add one more that is going to be load page more. And that is the only thing that it does. Completed this one.
Yes,
yes,
we can. Yeah. We should be able to do that as well. If you go to like advanced, and right now it's loading on Ajax. So whatever the content that's staying on the page is staying there. Disable Ajax, it works like a typical pager. So it's like loading the next 10 contents. And I think there's a patch for this module too, within which there's a new checkbox that's available that says load all. So the very first time the user goes to the page, you'll see only 10. But when you click load mode, it's for all the rest. Let's say there are 50 items, it's going to load only 10 ones. And when you click on load mode, it's going to load the rest 40. So I think it's just a patch, but I don't think it's counted yet to the modules. Yeah, I hope you guys learned something new today. Do you guys have any questions? Sure. Sure. Yes.
The question is, showing that first part where it listed all the books by their first letter,
right,
and said how many. Was there a little configuration in there that drop off words like the and stuff off the beginning of the book, so it's supposed to begin with the didn't sort of your T?
Sorry. No, we didn't change anything like that. But because by default, when you use path auto, all the strings are being stripped out, they will get stripped out. But the title is going to change, and is that what you're asking?
I'm just, I'm thinking.
I think we might have.
Library, what you would drop off articles.
I think we just remove all those strings not to be removed, because A and the E is off, those getting stripped off. I think we just removed all of them so that they do get in the title.
For this book glossary, I've gone into, I don't remember seeing glossary as an option. I don't remember exactly but is there like a specific module? I know there's a bunch of modules that you use.
There's a separate, I think it's called the views glossary mode module, I guess, but that adds like new features to it. But by default, you should be able to see the glossary mode.
Yeah.
Maybe it's again.
That just enhances the already existing glossary mode.
Okay.
That one.
Also, with the
Go ahead.
with the attachment, that the attachment was basically the top part, right?
Yes, that's the
Yes.
attachment. Everything else below is
I
actually
just
filled
wanted to
field.
make sure.
That is going to be the book content.
Curiosity, is there any way to get your glossary to show letters that aren't populated with content? On the glossary it only shows letters that actually have results. Is there a way to get it to show all the letters? Even if they don't have
You
results?
can do that one too. Basically, what you can do is to get to do an attachment, another attachment that is not going to be based on glossary, but you are going to group all the content that you have, and from there you're going to add the related letters that exist. So basically, you are going to have all the letters, but you are going to have links only to the one that have content. If
That's for coming.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
¿Cómo están? ¿De dónde eres? Ah, volvemos. Yo soy de México, trabajo en México, pero también hago mucho sobre Drupal. Es muy interesante.
Espérame un momento. Creo que tengo. No.
I guess.